Hi. Today I'm going to be talking about Edward Snowden, of course, past life or lifetimes that you've lived, the mysterious lost island of Atlantis, and the coming rise of Latin America. I was just watching Carrie Cassidy's recent talk at the Somerset House in England, and she had prepared a PowerPoint presentation about Kundalini and about the soul experience. And what she was saying, she was advocating for people not judging people on their very superficial, 3D biological earth appearance, but to understand that they have come through lifetimes and lifetimes of experience, and that they are really souls having a human experience. And the majority of these people, probably 90% of the people you ever meet, are in a complete state of amnesia, have completely forgotten their origin, the depth of their origin, the meaning in their life. And to give yourself some credit, give the people you meet some credit, give humanity some credit, in terms of that, we are not just, fools walking the face of the earth, but we have this huge resource within us that can change our lives. And that's the experience that I've been going through for the past, it's been going on longer, but I'd say it really came to fruition in January of 2009 for me personally. And I know a lot of people are still struggling just with accepting the fact that you have a soul, and I will spend more time when I have the time on my website detailing my personal experiences with my soul and how I came through my awakening, and the particular information I received and how it felt. Because right now, like when I receive spiritual information, it doesn't feel as good as it did in the beginning. Why? Because I'm in the flow all the time. I know when I step out of the flow, or I'm interrupted in my spiritual flow violently by dark people, I know I'm not in my space anymore and they're trying to assault me, and I scurry back to my spiritual flow. But, I definitely can tell the difference, but I don't feel that, that sort of sugary sweetness. That's what it felt like in the beginning, because I was so lost and so confused and so chaotic that anything that resembled God or spirit felt amazing. Felt like basking in the sun, rolling in cupcakes. It was an amazing experience. And I would love to be able to translate that into some kind of writing to explain to people how it feels. Because and that feeling happens because your soul and your spiritual guides want you to feel that way, so you'll stick with them. So they'll stick with them, and you'll begin to learn how to listen to them, how to communicate with them. That's why it feels that way in the beginning. So I'm jealous of people who are awakening right now. I am. It feels yummy. It certainly feels yummy. But anyway, on the level I am now, I'm kind of gotten to the place where I no longer trade or negotiate or create win-wins based on anything in the 3D realm. I'm kind of at that precipice right now. What does that mean? It means I don't apply for a job based just on my skill set, or based on the fact that I know where to speak to the person that is interviewing me in a way to convince them to hire me. I focus solely on our exchange of energy. There are some jobs that I really like, but the person is dark or going darker and chaotic and passive aggressive, and no matter what they speak of, creativity and being able to manage your own workflow, it's not true, it's not real. It's making the whole job search process a little bit difficult, but I no longer trade on anything less than my spiritual energy. It doesn't matter. I go into a situation, if someone completely disregards my spiritual energy and tries to undermine me, I remove myself from that situation. But if, like I say, I go into a gas station and the gas clerk, and this happens all the time, is so overwhelmed with my presence, they're like, hey, we're not going to charge you the tax, or, why don't you get a free car wash, or, or people just so simply will help you or offer something to you that they wouldn't offer to anyone else, because you are so radiant and your love, universal love, the universe, your soul, that it's overwhelming to them. But I'm trading on my light. Unfortunately, I haven't met anyone else who can trade back. Sort of like, showing up with a stack of cards, and people can't give you what you want back or your energy level back, but they give you what they can. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people who can't give you anything and who try to take from you and who try to violate you because that's all they know how to do. And that's an experience we have to live with. We can't run away from it. We can't cocoon ourselves from it. I mean, I tend to spend most of my time without, not involving myself with those people. When I do, I'm much, much stronger. Much, much stronger, and I'm given instant feedback. Sort of like in the Terminator when he has that sort of data scrolling through in his eye lens that he can see. That's exactly what I feel. Why is this person trying to insult me? Why is this person trying to target me? What's going on with them? I know it has nothing to do with me, but just give me some information. I mean, it's probably not important, but it makes me feel better at the time. Well, this person's really insecure. This person, they have hate because of, blah, blah, blah. And there's usually nothing you can do. You can't obviously point that out to them, but, whatever. So anyway, what does this have to do with the topics I mentioned at the beginning? Edward Snowden, again, continues to rise. He made, in the second part of the interview that was released by Glenn Greenwald in The Guardian, he made the most beautiful statement saying, I don't want every expression of creativity, of friendship, of love to be recorded and hoarded by a not so transient government that is not up to good intentions. I mean, why would you? I mean, I'm sure they're recording me right now and downloading all my videos off YouTube, which is just a big database for them and their information, everyone. But why? But it also, it shouldn't inhibit people from sharing information. Just because the government is standing, that kind of... We don't want them recording our creativity. We don't want them recording every email we send to our loved ones, every poem we think of in our head, every song we sing over our cell phones. We don't want that. But they're doing it anyway, and there's only thing we can do is, by protesting on a simple level, is to keep doing it. Chock full, make more phone calls saying you love your girlfriend. Make more emails to your family. Give them so much data, they have to build these data centers across Utah, across Colorado, across Wyoming, to the point where there's not enough computers to fill and contain all the love and joy and light on the planet. That's my idea of a protest. I feel like I think my brain just farted. Atlantis. I received, this was connecting to the soul. There's a connection here. The longest, well, first of all, I had received constant information from someone I had learned a lot from about my soul, that the CIA was going light. I don't know how true that is. I lived in DC very briefly. I wasn't really into it. For superficial reasons. It was very segregated. It was very, minus the black president in the White House, it was very, black people were kept on the outskirts of the city doing service jobs for the most part in Maryland. And, the people who held the higher up jobs were usually white, and they were within the city limits. In the good neighborhoods. It was just a really very segregated. But if you really talk to the right people, everyone had conspiracy theories. It was, about the Bush family, the crazy stuff that went on, that people could feel the energy in DC. I could feel it. I didn't want to be there. It's just like, I didn't want to work in that environment. I didn't want to participate in any of it was going on. The special interests, from Save the Dolphins to Guantanamo Bay to... It's just all of it, while politically relevant, really wasn't getting anywhere. It was all about collecting the money. You might be saving the dolphins, but you're making a pretty good paycheck for saving the dolphins. It just really wasn't my cup of tea, so I left. But the CIA, I considered applying there for a, there was like a records librarian position. And I thought with my background it would be a good fit, but I was really nervous about it. And I didn't go through with it, and I won't because I don't want to move back there. There's elements of the CIA that people are waking up. I guess Edward Snowden is a really good example. He had worked previously for the CIA before moving to contractor. People are awakening within the CIA. People are maybe diverting information. I think that's how the information about the CIA director or the FBI director was released. People are getting tired of the shenanigans within the CIA, even on a superficial level, which that information about the affair was. So I don't know how true that is. I like to believe that. I know there's a lot of government propaganda in films and TV shows like Homeland, Argo, 0.30, whatever that movie is, that is casting the CIA in this very sort of cool mod squad way, but I think people within the CIA are waking up and are trying to shift the waters within the organization itself. I don't know, and I think that's how we Bradley Manning and Edward Snowden have, come out in that awakening. I think it's very base right now. It's very limited, but I think it will grow and expand. And also, there's been, of course, a lot of information that America is the old Atlantis. Not necessarily the continent of America, North America, but the people who reside in America, their souls have come from that time when Atlantis went underwater. And America was their chance to rebuild, to reform the community they were supposed to have during Atlantis. And I've gotten spiritual information that says that is no longer happening because of the just obtuseness of the North American population, including Canada, including parts of Mexico. The obtuseness, the willingness to be so apathetic, the willingness to be drones, the anger they have when people try to wake them up. I want my Diet Coke. I want my McDonald's. I want my television. I'm old. I don't care. This entitled attitude that they want their degradation. And that is part of American freedom, which is true, which is part of universal freedom, which is part of the laws of the universe. You can do what you want. No one is going to stop you. You can do what you want, but when you get entrained with your soul, it's not that you don't get to do what you want anymore. You're showing how it doesn't help you and how you should go in another more positive direction. But generally, particularly people within the United States, are very arrogant about their righteousness, their moral righteousness. I actually wrote a little paper about the moral righteousness of the United States and how bizarre it is. We can't imagine the horror of other people's lives. We can't. I don't want to get into that subject because it opens up a whole chasm, but we are so righteous in our lifestyle and so willing to go down for it. And it's so separate and detached and disconnected and almost a perversion of what this country was supposed to be. It's supposed to be, the Constitution. I mean, the articles in the New York Times saying that the Constitution should be modified to fit more modern principles. And I've had family members yelling, well, the Constitution's old, it's outdated, we should get rid of it, because because they're so arrogant, so righteous about their destructive lifestyles, that they, and it's there was a major shift, again, over Edward Snowden in this particular topic. And it gave other places in the universe, and I talked about this in other videos, where he sort of did the Edward Snowden Soul Tour, going through Hong Kong, going through Russia, and inspiring Latin America and Africa and all these places, and Ireland, and parts of France and Iceland. Not that Iceland's been doing pretty well on its own. Places that haven't really spoken up for themselves. Places like Hong Kong, China, Russia, where, you know, there is an awakening going on, and he kind of spurred it on, saying this is what you can do. You can speak out. You can risk your life. Well, you're not risking your life. You're risking your lifestyle. That's what he talked about. He'll be fine. He'll live. Because he gave up his lifestyle and he went on this soul tour, shaking and awakening everyone along the way. And the final bang, it seems, was Latin America. Now there's been a lot of controversy about programs in Venezuela that imitate the United States' security programs. But again, I am feeling from America will no longer be a host to the Atlantean souls. That a lot of these souls have not progressed because of the indignance of the humans' bodies that they're in, and they're moving on. Either they're moving off planet because they've gotten too dark because of their experience within the humans in North America, or they're moving on to different parts of the continent. I've been getting information, the world. I'm getting information that a lot of these souls are shifting south into Latin America because there's a lot of people down there who have been soulless, but who are now so excited about the opportunity that they have to, Latin America gets to stand up to all the colonial powers, the imperial powers, the Illuminati, that souls are shifting. There will be souls moving to Russia. There will be souls moving to Africa. Africa's kind of a misnomer right now because they still haven't have the confidence to really say, hey, if you don't treat us and respect us, we're gonna make economic, because they don't have that. They don't have that confidence. That's what Edward Snowden's doing. He's on a soul journey. He's awakening, and because of what he's done, even though there aren't whistleblowers lining up on the sidewalks to tell their stories, everything on this planet is shifting in the good direction, and the souls are shifting. Where he's going, hopefully these souls will be infused in the humans around him. Hopefully that will happen. Hopefully he will attract these souls. But he's just so surrounded and engulfed by this amazing sort of spiritual shift. And he's sort of riding the crest of the wave. He isn't necessarily responsible for the whole entire shift, but he's a surfer on that crest of that spiritual shift, of that wave. And it's really important. So kudos to Latin America. Kudos to the world, the parts of the world that are really waking up and saying, hey, we're not really interested in all of this undercover, secret, dark, kill myself with Diet Coke, television, zapping your brain bullshit. We want to be active. We want to flex our powers. We want to flex our innate sensibilities and champion ourselves. It starts out very small, but thanks to Edward Snowden, it's happening. Thank you.